Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we are watching Legacies. This is episode 15 of season 1. That means we do have one more episode after this and the full season is completed. Just like that. It feels like it's gone so fast. But if you want to vote for your most liked and disliked characters of this season, check in the description below, get your votes in, and I will cast mine in the final episode while revealing yours as well, because it's going to be very interesting, because I don't think there's been any standout characters, or there's been many characters that we can actually dislike as well. So it's going to be very interesting to see the different opinions on this one. I cannot wait. Now, speaking of characters, it looks like we've possibly got a new one maybe coming in. She's kind of like Medusa or something. You know, her hair was like all snakes. She was being pretty much forced by Triad to come in and bring Landon towards them. You know, we've seen at the start of the episode, she was tied up to a chair with a bag on her head, and pretty much she was told, look mate, if you do not bring Landon to us, we are going to kick you into into the pit. So obviously that is what she went to do. She went to the Salvatore school, she went for a tour and stuff, because he was hosting the Miss Mystic Falls pageant, which is really interesting. And she went around and obviously she was touring it. She was speaking to MG, and he ended up leaving her for a little while to speak to his mum, who come to see him. She was saying that no, the school's not very good and he should really leave and go somewhere else. Obviously he was reluctant to do that, and following that conversation, you know, we seen his mum later on turned into stone in the field or in the gardens or whatever's, and they was trying to work out who was doing it, and they obviously focused in on her. So they went searching for her. She ended up taking Rick out as well, and then it was just her and MG. She tried doing it to MG, it didn't actually work, and they had a little fight. Which was obviously, again, like I said, really interesting. She was saying she's sorry, she didn't really mean to do it, but it was she has to do it. It's pretty much to save her own skin. That is what it is, you know. She's trying to do whatever it takes. They ended up capturing her and locking her in where the holes where the werewolves are, and they were speaking. And you know, she was, like I said, revealing that she's been off the grid for ages. She lives on her own with her family, like way away from everybody, because she doesn't feel accepted, obviously, for who she is. And he was saying that this school is different, mate. You know, you can come here, you could do some bad actions, but it's all about what you do to reprimand those, how to, you know, how you do it moving forward. That is what you're based on. He was speaking from his own experience from killing Landon, obviously, a couple of episodes before, and how nobody's really blamed him. It's how he evolves and establishes himself moving forward. So again, that was interesting, and made me think that maybe she may be coming into the series. But also, we had the Miss Mystic Falls, and Lizzie was supposed to be running, but she ended up dropping out because Dana's mum was part of the board, and she didn't obviously want to run for it because she knew she was going to lose, because her and Dana didn't get on. So instead of going to Josephine, her sister, who was running as well, she was going to be the fall girl for Lizzie, so that Lizzie could win. Yeah, she went to Hope and she was like, look mate, we're going to make Hope win, and didn't even consider her sister, which was really disappointing. And like I said, it's been going into one of those things where she's blinkered. She only thinks of her prize, you know. She doesn't think of anybody else, which is her own character, and I have no problems with that. But I do feel tight on Josie sometimes, and she was feeling sorry for herself as well in the episode, because she did want to win Miss Mystic Falls, but she was happy to, you know, be the fall girl for her sister so she could win. But then when that didn't happen and he went to Hope, then it should have been Josie that was going for it, and they focused it all on Hope. And Hope as well, she's been bottling up all these emotions and everything, and she's getting ready to explode. You know, the information of Landon coming out, knowing that her parent, you know, Hope knows about what happened to his mother, and he's not been disclosing the information. He got mad, he stormed off, he ended up getting attacked by MG's mum, who turns out to be the leader of the Triad, which is mad, mate. So that is a massive twist as well. Josephine as well had a conversation with Penelope, who's leaving the school. She said, look mate, I'm leaving. That letter that I gave you a couple of episodes ago, which you've not read, I was hoping that you would read it and you would give me one reason to stay, but instead you showed me 1,000 reasons why I should be leaving. And obviously she's leaving the school, but she told her that she loved her and give her a kiss, and she said, you need to be like a bright light, you need to shine, you need to focus on yourself. I give everybody pens last Christmas or something, and every time everybody writes in the diaries, I can see it because I put a spell on it. And this information is really interesting. Boom, mate, give her a book and say, you need to read that about the merge, mate, about the Geminis. This is what your dad's been writing down, and you know, I think you're going to need to read it. Sort of mad, mate. We've obviously got her finding out about the Gemini covering. We've got obviously Landon getting taken, and I don't know what's going to happen with that Malivore, as well as obviously MG's mum being part of it. So that is absolutely crazy, and I can't wait to find out more in this episode. So if you guys enjoy it, please smash a like, really helps out the channel. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, let's jump into today's episode.
Usual debrief before you throw him into the pit. Find out where he's from, family, any other phoenixes he's willing to give up. And I'd like to know why he wanted one of the locks to the pit.
I feel like he's working against. I've said this already, haven't I?
You can kill me, but I'm part Phoenix, so I'm just gonna come back to life in a burst of flames, and there's gonna be a lot of ash to clean up, and after I come back, I'm not gonna know anything.
When they created the locks to Malivore, they also created decoys, so no one would know which 3 artifacts were the real thing. I want to toss them into the pit and unlock Malivore.
Wow.
Yes, I knew he's different to them.
Thanks for being honest.
I'll tell you a story.
Story's gonna
Is
change
your
my
dad?
mind.
This one will.
See, I kind of think that that's not his dad now, but I did predict that he was his dad a couple, like, when his role started to be introduced. I predicted he was his dad, but I feel like they kind of made it feel like it's too obvious that he's going to be his dad there. So I'm going to say it's not, but I knew it, man. I knew that he was working not for Triad. Like, he might have been working for them, but he wasn't working for them. Because every time we've seen it, he was doing bad stuff in there against what they was doing. Very intrigued now. Oh, what's this? Oh, that is so good, mate. She's got like a triangle going.
How long have I been here?
For an hour.
And look, you don't need to pretend like you give a crap about me just because I'm your alpha.
So I'm going camping for a while. Hopefully I can catch up on classwork later. Ralph and Jed, hi for me.
We kept a massive secret from him, and I think he just needs some time to process that. I think we should respect his privacy.
I've done all I can to help Raphael, but the side effects of Hope's elixir are getting worse. He's losing time, having flashes of aggression.
Dorian is too proud to come back. You know that.
And you know how much I respect you.
Status update. Josie didn't come back last night. I think she slept in Penelope's old room, which is a really good way to get hepatitis B. Trust me, okay? This is what we do. I'm selfish, then she sulks, and then I offer baked goods. Emma has this prism that simulates a conversation. I'll trade you 1 prism for a banana cream pie. I brought you some brain food.
I'm not hungry.
It's all your favorite things.
Look, I already know about my dad. My mom got pregnant by one of the monsters in Malivore.
Then he'll be easy to spot in my story. Around a millennia ago, there was no monster more terrifying than dragons. So an unholy alliance was formed. The Triad combined their blood, using black magic to create a golem capable of consuming the dragons. But their spell also made it unable to harm witches, werewolves, or vampires. It took them. It consumed them.
You're saying that the golem ate my dad?
No, Landon. Your father is the golem.
What the hell, mate? So you're telling me, right, his dad is... is the tar? Or is it like a physical... Because it seemed to me like, yeah, the golem is a golem, but it consumes it like the tar does, or whatever that pit is that they're next to it. So I feel like that pit's his dad. But does it, like, the more it eats, the more it gets bigger? So he's going to go inside, it's going to be like Kong. It's going to be absolutely huge.
So your dad reading it? He keeps it locked up in his office, so it's bound to have something about that merch thing Josie's looking for.
We're both gonna get our people back.
I like her positivity.
Hey there.
Hey.
She's so pretty when she smiles.
Yeah.
You had something you wanted to say to me?
Yeah, I should have told you about your mom and the whole thing earlier.
Okay, then I accept your apology if you're actually sorry.
What's your problem?
I mean, do you seriously think that speech would have worked on me? I mean, come on, that's not what you actually wanted to say.
How would you know?
Because I am you, remember?
Even fake you is infuriating. God.
And when the region was cleared of all the monsters, the Triad wanted to return him back to Mud. Since they were the ones who created him, only they could destroy him. He made a deal with all the humans he'd saved. The humans set him free to wander the earth and continue consuming, erasing all memory that the monsters ever existed. He did what all creations eventually do. Create. All the children he fashioned were imperfect, flawed, None of them had his powers. All of them had weaknesses, and all were sterile, unable to reproduce.
He found a way to reproduce biologically.
A son who could live forever and continue the species.
I'm back to thinking that that's his dad again. Honestly, I don't know, man. Like, he said he's evolved. Now, I want to see the evolvement. It's an interesting story. It's definitely got me hooked, mate. It's definitely got me invested into it. Like, it's not one of the stories where it's going on and you're just kind of listening and you're just, like, following. I'm, like, really intrigued. Like, really intrigued. And if he says he's, like, one of his kind, imagine if... And because he just said then that they couldn't reproduce, but then Landon can. Like, he's saying that he managed to do whatever's and succeed and create like Landon and like somebody that can reproduce a species. Now imagine he had and Hope had a kid. Yeah, he'd be like a quad breed or whatever, mate. That would be crazy, mate. So it's really interesting. Now, in terms of these two sisters, one knows about the merge and has got books with all information missing, and another one's got a book about the merge that's got the key information written in. Now, I want to know, I said it last episode, whoever finds the information, are they going to expose it? They're going to tell each other, or are they going to keep it to themselves? This is what is going to really interest me the most out of this. Also, yeah, I want to know if Lizzie spirals out like the genie said when they first met in that episode.
Did you stop to think that maybe I didn't want your help? That maybe I wanted something, anything that was entirely my own?
Is this about having separate rooms? That's fine, okay? Just take Penelope's.
You seriously still don't get it?
And you're asking me to believe that the father that I've been looking for years has actually been searching for me?
Our father is a very gifted artist.
I was close. He was the first one.
Hey, are you okay? I need to find out what this merge thing is, okay? I feel like it's a spell that she's gonna use to just leave or break us up or something.
She's still your sister, and she really needs your help. What? She can't control her brain chemistry. She can't choose to take her medication. She hasn't taken it since we saw her mom because she doesn't like the way that it makes her feel.
Watch it, Wolf.
Stand down.
Oh, it's very rare.
Did you figure out what you wanted to say yet?
Yeah, actually, I did. And what I wanted to say is this. I have been protecting you and putting your safety first ever since you got here.
You were doing it because you didn't want me to leave. Because you fear being abandoned. Why you run?
This has nothing to do with my parents.
Father consumed every creature he could. And when his supply ran out, he grew weak. Descendants of his original worshippers, a secret society. I told them of his attempts to create a lineage, and they did what humans do. They rebelled against their god. It's not just a place. It's what remains of our father.
Tell you what, this is an interesting story. I forgot that guy's name. Like, the one that his brother. He's really interesting. Like, he's not done much acting in the show, but every time he's been in it, I think he's been good. All the scenes that he's been in, so everything that he's been in, has had a good story. It's been a good episode. It's been lots of information. And I feel like it would be a waste to have this guy in here and then just disappear him after this season. Not because he's, like, the best character ever, but, like, I feel like what he's been involved in has been really interesting, and I feel like he could be utilised going forward in any way. Get him to the school or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, if Dorian's not coming back, get this guy back. He's well old. He's Landon's brother. He's his family. Do you know? He knows loads of stuff. Like, you know what I mean? You want somebody in the school that knows everything, get this guy in, mate. He knows lots about history. So I feel like he's a good character. So far, anyway, I've actually enjoyed all the scenes that he's been in. He's always been keeping me guessing and consistently thinking what's going on.
The knife and the urn were both part of the spell that dissolved him. But since he was immortal...
Nothing's immortal.
They bound him with 3 locks. Created 3 decoys. I need to tell me which is the real lock, so we can set him free.
But you're human. How long until these kids figure out that the control you have of this school is an illusion? And I don't want to be here when it gets bad enough for you to finally admit that.
Came to get some stuff, but I guess I'll come back later.
No, it's fine. Take whatever you need. Yes, I'm awful and needy. But deep down, you're happy to hide and let me be the one that they hate.
Oh, she was a stronger one. I want to know if she's read about that. Like, the stronger one will be the superior, the one that survives. Interesting. I want to know if both have read it or if none have read it. That was good. It just set the positions of the characters. Now, this does take me back to last episode, right? When I said, yeah, the reason why I'm not blaming Lizzie for not picking or whatever is Josephine is that she never stands up for herself. So, like, the reason why is that I said my opinion would be much different on Lizzie if Josephine was like, I want to win Miss Mystic Falls, and Lizzie was like, no chance, I'm picking Hope. Then that's different, because she never knows where you stand, Lizzie, because you don't voice your opinion. Do you know what I mean? And she's just said it there as well, like, okay, you might be moaning that I'm selfish and all that, right? But where do you stand? You know, like, you never stand up for yourself. You're happy for me to take the blunt of everyone's thing. You know, if someone's in trouble, me, you used to blame me. If I'm going to take something, it's me. And you never come in and stand your ground. So I get it. It backs up what I said last episode. I don't mean that I dislike both characters' traits. No, I don't. But for me to, like, fully dislike Lizzie, I would have to have Josephine, like, more vocal about what she wants. Because then if she's vocal, I want this, I want to be part of it, and then she's getting rejected consistently, then I would change opinions. But because she never voices it, then I'm just in the category of, well, how would Lizzie know what you want if you never tell her? And that is, like, where I'm in now, like, here. That was a good scene.
They follow their alpha, and having an alpha who can't control himself means the pack gets hurt. If you care about them, you won't let your pride get in the way, like I did.
That was good, Jed.
Lizzie is spiraling, so either you do it or I will, but it's time to tell them the truth.
The pit had the same properties as Malivore. Throw a monster in, its memory was erased from existence. Eventually, the power corrupted them. Monsters became whoever they didn't like. I thought revenge on my father would feel sweeter, but it didn't. Oh, I returned to myself there, decades later, when suddenly he spit me out. As more humans were thrown in, he absorbed enough of their genetic material to be able to reproduce. He sent me back to find you, because only you are blood of his blood, and only you can set him free.
What, right? That story is good. I like the story. It makes total sense why you would, like, get rid of him, bring him back, how his mum got pregnant, how Landon's a thing. They have played that out very well. The way they've explained it all makes total sense. I can't really see a little plot hole or whatnot. It just, the continuity has been very good. It's really interesting. Now, all I got to say is, it seems like he wants to get all the supernaturals. Now, he's a supernatural and all his friends are. So, like, if I was him, I wouldn't bring him back, because all he wants to do is take all the supernaturals away, and that is not what I would want if I was Landon.
There's something you both need to know.
I need to see that talk.
What I said before about wanting to protect you, that was true. I thought I was over losing my parents. I don't know. Seeing you lying there in the woods, thinking that you were dead. Every time I lose someone, this voice in my head, it tells me it's your fault. That I'm a cosmic mistake. I wanted you to stay, because I love you.
Wow.
You didn't need to say that last part, did you?
That was a good scene.
How would he react to all that, really?
Maybe he'd say something roguishly charming to deflect from how vulnerable you made him feel, and then, well, he'd kiss you.
When Gemini twins turn 22, the merge will determine who will lead the coven.
It's a curse, right? Curse on the Gemini twins?
Well, when exactly is the right time to tell your children that you don't know if you'll be able to protect them? Riding your bikes for the first time, learning to walk. And when I look at you, I see all of that.
We've had two great scenes back to back.
Quiet.
There's too much noise in your head so you couldn't hear it. I mean, I went into the woods, but I didn't take my journal or any camping gear. That's clues in the voicemail that something wasn't right. For the last time, just listen.
Sorry to take off like that, but I just need a little time, so I'm going camping for a while.
Keycard's being swiped.
Try it.
Rick said I should probably head back out into the field. I was actually coming to find you and say goodbye earlier, but then I heard you on the dock. The Cosmos is lucky to have you.
Help release Malivore and destroy the world.
He's been alive for centuries. Was the world destroyed? Malivore can't hurt, which is werewolves or vampires, remember?
Oh, I can't.
School, they aren't in any danger from him. You know what goes on in this building? They're finding a way to turn the pit into a weapon. You have to stop trying. I'm offering you a family who actually wants you. What's it gonna be?
This one.
Mate, this has been a good episode. 5 minutes left. I'm well excited. This has been good. Now, I'm in a position, right, where I agree with a lot of the stuff that guy said. Agree. I don't know if I agree, but I like some of the stuff he's saying. I dislike some of the stuff. Like, in terms of when he said, mate, you know that they're not your family, you know, like we are, so to speak. But, again, when he's saying you're not one of them, you're like one of us. Well, technically, yeah, okay, like, blood, whatever's, but that school is, to me, they've only ever been good to him. They've not done any, okay, he died off MG, but the school as a whole and the people there, they're all accepting, they're all, like, decent, like, so I don't know with that one, but now you've got to call things as you watch it, haven't you? Like, you take guesses. Obviously, your opinion changes. The more episodes you go through, the more you establish, the more information you get. But if you've got to make a sole call right now, let's just make a call, yeah. And the information that we've got in front of us, I would go on his side. I would go on his side to get his dad back, because based on what I've watched, Triad, what he said about Triad, that they're trying to genetically enhance whatever his dad's thing to create a weapon to take out all supernaturals. I firmly believe that is true based on the information that we've seen that Triad are doing. This is where it's very interesting, because that doesn't mean that all that guy's saying that I want to happen and everything that he wants to do I'm on board for. But listening to what he's saying and what I've seen about Triad, I feel like what he's possibly telling the truth. The fact that MG's mum is part of it, you know, like they've had all this stuff going on, the information of just throwing humans in the pit, the evolution of it. I kind of feel like I said, the storytelling that he's physically told here has been good. I've watched it, I've listened to it, I've followed it. It's been simple enough to understand and go along. And now it's got us into a position where you can physically pick you can try and pick a side, because information has been clear. And like, if I was to pick one right now, I would pick that Triad are more bad than this guy, which sounds really crazy. Now, it doesn't mean this guy's good, but they can't kill the witches and the werewolves and the vampires, because we did see it in the story in the past, because they was the ones that created his dad. So this is what I'm saying about continuity and good storytelling, because it ties in. So it's like, okay, do you want to save your friends in the school because they can't be taken down by our father, or do you want to not agree with me? Do you want to try to enhance him genetically, create a weapon, and then he could just go after and kill all your friends? Do you know what I'm saying? That's in the position where we're at now, and we've got to guess who the bullshitter is. That's literally what it is. I'm saying that he's chatting in what he fully wants and the outcome that's going to happen, but I'm saying he's not chatting on the Triad. So I would go with him first, but I would never trust what he says. But I would definitely go with his plan right now, which is very interesting. This has been such a good episode of information.
Here's the only thing in his desk. He's one of them. Security found an old pipe that they must have escaped through.
Prep your team.
How's he left all that information? What a noob.
I thought if I just kept moving, I could outrun them.
Who's speaking to? It's a character that we know, definitely.
I need your help. And these kids, they need leaders who can admit their mistakes. And so I am here to say, I'm sorry.
You know, for a long time, I thought that I was only at the school because of what happened to my family. But the truth is, I love those kids. Last time you did this without me, it was a disaster.
Except I'm not gonna go alone this time. I'm gonna draft the twins, MG, Caleb. We're going before Dr. Saltzman comes back. It'll be like a super squad assemble. I don't know, is that a thing?
I keep having these flashes like I can't control myself.
That's why you're not coming on the mission.
I don't know how to be around you, Hope.
For once, you need to put yourself first. Do what you need to get better. If things get really bad. It's a long story, but it was a gift from a family friend. But it's essentially like a reverse kyanite ring. All you have to do is come find me when you're ready to be yourself.
I'm excited for the final episode, me. I think this has been such a good one. We're going into school already. Mate. What an episode. I actually really loved it. I think the information has been so good. Like, I was fully invested in the LANDON storyline. You know, we've got the merge information coming out as well. Really good. You know, LANDON's coming back, Emma's left. We've got Hope and the squad going after LANDON in the next episode. We've got him finding out he's a brother. His dad's the monster, the tar, or whatever. He's Malivore. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, he's been absorbing the monsters, but they're not dead. They're actually still physically alive inside of them. We had the Triad, confirmed that they don't work for the same company as obviously like LANDON and his brother's dad. it's different. He's worked with them. He was the one that took them down, and then he thought it would be a good thing, and then he realised that the humans just used it as a thing to just get more power, to throw anything that they did like in there. It wasn't a place where they stopped the supernaturals. It was just a place where anybody who got any information who crossed them or they didn't want, they got tossed into it. The best thing about it was how they explained how Malivore was created. He couldn't reproduce. He created his first son. He still couldn't reproduce. They all have flaws. Later on, yeah, you see like, okay, how the hell's Landon? You know, like, how's he been born? Well, Triad throwing innocent people in there that he didn't like, you know, with information. The more he consumed, the more he absorbed, you know, the more he adapted, evolved, the more he become a bit more human. His mum, she got sent in there for no reason. Then he used that opportunity to impregnate her, to get her, send her back, spit her out. Now Landon is on the earth. He is a child of Malivore who can reproduce. It was such good information telling. It was fantastic. I really enjoyed it anyway. Personally, I thought this was a great episode. Can't wait for the final one now. We started it off really well with them coming in straight away, Triad breaking the school gates, going in there. It's going to go crazy. Would like a lots of fights, to be honest. I've got to say as well, because I have been, like, the first few episodes, it was consistent of supernaturals just coming in. You know, what did we have? We had a dragon, and then, what I can't remember what else we had. We had, like, a gargoyle and a bee, and then I was like, I can't be doing with every single episode having something. And then, boom, mate, we slowed down. Storytelling, character building. About 4 episodes in, we got the, what did we get now? We got the bee thing, the mummy. You know what I mean? A couple of episodes in again. Something else, and then boom, we're here. So we didn't overdo it. We overdone it at the start. I'm just saying that we've done that just so we could lay a foundation, try and entice people into the show, get people excited, and then we establish stories just like we've done today. No monsters at all, pure information. Got me hooked, very excited. I loved it. Great episode in my opinion. Okay, and that's gonna wrap up today's episode. What a good one to finish the second to last episode of the season, to send us right into the season finale. It's got me excited anyway. Thought the information was great. Really like the Landon storyline. I like how, you know, Hope was having a conversation with not Landon, but it was Landon. It was like a figment of her imagination. And I like how it was told to her that she could do that, because Lizzie's been doing that when she has episodes. She puts it down. She speaks to Rick and her mum. It's great. And then we used that, transferred it over to Hope. You give me the Gemini book, I give you this. Again, 2 storylines tying in together very well, you know, good storytelling. She's going to speaking to him, told him that, you know, like, I'm sorry, is that what you wanted to say? Nah, I'm not having that, stormed off. Come back, another conversation. Tell me what you really wanted to say. She ended up blurting out, I love you. His reaction was really good, actually. Like, do you know what? Hope is so beautiful when she smiles. You know, most of the time, she's got, like, yeah, like a resting bitch face, hasn't she? She's always, like, frowning. You know, turn that frown upside down and smile, mate, because you literally glow, like, when you do it. I said that when she got the slug in her ear. That episode, she was totally different. She was so happy. She looks really beautiful when she smiles, so we need more of that. I do think the chemistry with Landon is great. You know, we haven't used it much, so to speak, because we've got good storylines going on, so it doesn't really matter, like, because he's got a good one going on the side. She's got a decent one going on as well. So I'm not too bothered with them, but I do think that when they're in a scene together, it's really good. I do like how she said she loved him. He reacted really well. Then he was like, mate, look, let's get to the root of the problem, yeah? What, here, mate? I sent you a phone call. You know what he said. You know I'm in danger. I called him Alaric. You know, I called him Rick or whatever. I said, Jed, you should have known that that wasn't me. To be honest, Roman has been in this as well. I actually don't mind Roman. This is a weird one, mate, because he was massively involved in one of the biggest storylines of the characters that we truly love, and the deaths and the repercussions, that all of that laid down. And but I actually don't mind him. He's absolutely brainwashed off his mum. Absolutely hated her. I'm so glad she died. I mean, brutal, mate. What a way Haley went out. Absolute champ. But again, every time I've seen him, I think he's okay. He's another character. When he's in a scene, he has a good scene. And you know, last episode he come back in, say he still works at school. He was doing the dancing with Hope. This one, he helped her on the phone call. He just has good chemistry with Hope as well. He actually does. So, I mean, I don't mind Roman at all. I think he's decent. I like how Dorian's coming back as well. Emma's left. He's come back. Rick's obviously like realising that he does need more help in the school. Like, he's a human. They're all supernaturals. When it gets out of hand, he can't really do anything. I know Dorian's not a supernatural as well, but you know, another person there, he's admitting that he does love working there. So that's good. Lizzie and Joseph finding out about the merge. We had a brief view, Voldemort and Harry once together, so to speak. Joseph, she was the winner in that first battle. She just literally blew her over onto the bed. And then obviously Rick's come in later on and said, look, mate, Gemini Cousins, when you turn 22, there is a merge. Somebody's going to have to merge inside of one and the other one will die. How can a dad tell the kid, mate? Do you tell them when you're 6, 11, 14, 20? What do you do, mate? How do you physically tell that information that one of your children is going to have to potentially kill the other one? This is why your mum's always absent. I'm disappointed that Caroline's not been in the season once when she is their mother, and she's been consistently name dropped but not seen. She could have been in it. We could have utilised her a little bit. I don't know what's going on there, but I mean, it's not really impacted the show. But again, man, are you saying so? Every time I look at you, I just see that little girl, mate. First starting to walk, first dancing on my shoes, riding your first bike, speaking. I can't, do it. How can a father tell one that one of the child's going to have to die? Deep. That was a fantastic scene. Comes straight after the Hope scene where she said to Landon that she loved him and she was laughing and all that. That was really good. I mean, the storytelling, like I said in this episode, to Landon about his dad and where he come from and how his mum got pregnant, and how Triad was throwing people in the pit. The innocents now he absorbed, how they can't go after the witches, the werewolves, and the vampires. They can only go after the other supernatural entities. It was interesting how he said that he was fashioned off his dad. He tried to, as a creator, as a whatever, as your own species, all you want to do is to create, and he tried it. He made me. I couldn't reproduce. Then obviously, I can't remember what he said happened to them. They didn't go down really well. He left him or something, and to get him back, he went and made a deal with the humans, and then obviously they come and he took his dad out. He thought that it would be taste of sweet revenge, and he started working obviously for the Triad, and they started realising that, all he was doing is getting power hungry. More and more and more, throwing innocent people in. That is, like I said, how the pit evolved, how Landon and his mum and all that come together, how he realised that Landon's a thing, and how he ended up going back into the pit and he's in there for ages, and then he started to spit him out and he realised he found the picture, Landon, how he's drawn to stuff, and then he's told the story that, look, mate, pretty much, he's the way he proposed it is, look, there's two sides here. You can stay on this side where you currently are, and you think that you're okay, but Triad have tried to reverse the spell or whatever that our dad is, and they're going to try to use his powers to destroy all supernaturals and kill all your friends as well as you. Or you can go on my side, resurrect our father, who will go after supernaturals, but he won't go after the werewolves, the vampires and the witches, which means your friends will be safe. That's pretty much it. Black and white, break it down, take it all the way down to the bare bones. You've got Triad trying to reverse and create their own weapon to go against every supernatural, or you can go back onto our side to resurrect our father, who take out all supernaturals, stop Triad and save your friends. Whether you believe it or not, black and white, that is how I read it, and that is why I said I would pick his side over the Triad, even though I wouldn't trust anything that he said. You got to base it off information that's dealt to you. We haven't seen anything good of Triad so far, so I have no reason to believe that that is a lie, especially with MG and his mum as well, how she's working for them. So I'm really fascinated. Honestly, I'm not even lying when I said that. I actually am really enjoying the series. So thanks so much for clicking on today's episode. Hopefully guys enjoy it. I can't wait to watch the finale. Hopefully guys are going to be back for that. Smashing the like, getting your character votes in as well, and obviously checking out mine in obviously the season finale. And let's hope that it's going to be a sick episode with lots of action, lots of fighting. We take out Triad, we'll get information about, hopefully, I want Malvo to resurrect or whatever's now, and I can't wait to obviously see what's going on with the rest of the other characters in the Gemini Covens, and obviously with Hope and Landon and Raphael, and all that stuff. So very excited. Thanks for clicking on today's episode. Hopefully guys enjoyed it, and as always, I will catch you in the next one. Cheers guys.